Welcome back, beautiful and amazing people. Today we're going to put our propane into a propane box and seal it up tight so that it's safe and sound to be inside of the vehicle.
We're also going to show you our propane stove, basically our whole propane system, little how-to video for you today.
So we're looking forward to getting back to it. It's a new year, let's make it happen. Hi, I'm Lloyd.
And I'm Alex.
In 2020, we purchased our Sprinter van and named it Chip.
We spent the rest of the year converting our van while documenting the process along the way.
In 2021, we will be finishing the build and moving in.
So sit back and relax as we share our van life experiences. So the first step of building our sealed propane box is cutting out the pieces for the box. So we're going to cut those out right now. We measured the dimensions of the propane tank and have made a box around it. So we're going to cut that out. That was my white lie. I didn't measure.
Actually, she didn't measure anything.
You can measure, or else you can just put the propane on here and then go around it.
Alright, so now we have our top and another one for our bottom. Now we're going to get the appropriate measurement for all of the walls.
So now we are going to lightly sand all of the sides of the box, and then we'll get to assembly.
Now we are assembling the box. I have been pre-drilling, and then we are using number 8 1-inch screws to fasten all our sides together.
So this is the box so far. We just need to screw the top on, and then we're going to do something a little different with the door, which we'll tell you in a little bit.
We are going to begin the silicone application before we put the roof on, just so that we have better access. So Alex is going to do that now.
And we're just going to be using this 100% advanced silicone, and I believe it's clear. So we're going to use this to clean up our edges. So now that we have the box built, it's time for us to do the door. So obviously, to get at the propane and exchange it when we run out, we need to be able to get access to it. So we're gonna have this area right here as the door, but it obviously needs to be removable, but we still want it to be a completely sealed box. So we picked up this Auto and Marine rubber weather seal. That's basically a rubber strip that we're going to put along the whole edge here, and then once we put the door on, it'll help suck it closed, and then it'll be still properly sealed even when we need to take the door off. So we have the first strip cut. This is what it looks like, a little close up here, and then the back is sticky, so we'll just take that off, not touch it, just take the stick away. And then we're just gonna press for now. We'll get it all done, and then we'll apply pressure to let it stick even further. So this is what the box looks like with the kind of rubber gasket all the way around it, and then this is the door. So the door, when it's closed, it will be sucked up against those, which will still create an airtight seal even though it can come off. So we're going to flip this over so there is pressure onto the sticky parts. And we're going to move on to another project.
Alright, so before we drill our hole, we're going to move underneath here. We've measured it out, and this is the general area where our hole will be coming down. Okay, I think we're through the wood now.
Oh wow!
Now that we have our pre-drill done, we'll be taking this 7/8 bit and continuing that, enlarging it. This is going to be just a hair larger than our PVC pipe that we'll be sticking through, which is going to act as our escape hatch for that propane gas should any escape out of our controlled mechanism in that box.
Wow!
Okay, guys, PVC pipe time now.
Alrighty guys, so since we have that hole through the entirety of the van, we have now exposed a little bit of metal. In order to increase the longevity of this hole and prevent rust, we're going to clean up that metal with a little bit of heavy duty primer. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, now that the paint is drying, we're going to assemble our little propane gas escape hatch.
We have this stainless steel mesh lint trap. We have PVC pipe cut to the thickness, like the depth of everything in the van, all the way through to the bottom. A elbow PVC. These are both 1/2-inch ID. Or
this one is.
This is 1/2-inch ID. This just fits into it. We have a hose clamp that fits, and then also some clear medium PVC cement. So first step, we are going to be attaching these two together, but in order to make sure that they stay together and then this just doesn't fall off on the road or something, we are going to be using this PVC cement. So we just took out the stainless steel mesh and we're just gonna cut it. Good. And this will just fit right on here. Oops. See, the ink's coming off. Think that's good enough?
Mm-hmm.
Got some excess coming, but that'll help hold it together at the crack too.
Yep.
Alright.
There it is.
We have this done. We're just going to let it sit,
Yeah, I think
and then we'll install it.
Yeah, so we're going to let that paint dry a little bit longer, let that cement dry a little bit. We're going to kind of clean up and get ready for our next project.
So these are the materials that we're going to be using for the propane hose assembly. First, we have the actual hose here. It is a 5-foot propane hose. And then we have a 1-stage regulator that will be attached to the hose. So this is a brass pipe with 2 threaded ends that we're going to be using to connect 2 of these together. And then lastly, we have some yellow gas line threaded tape that we'll be using to tape all the connections to make sure they're secure. We did make a mistake and order a hose with a regulator on it from Amazon for like $8, and it does not fit our stove. So we have to return that. So it may be easier to order from Amazon, but it's actually not, because you probably have the wrong thing and you're gonna need to go to the store anyway.
Go to Menards and ask for Jacob.
Oh yeah! So we went to Menards yesterday and we know nothing about plumbing, propane, anything. And there was a worker there named Jacob at the St. Cloud Menards, and he helped us find absolutely everything. So shout out to Jacob. He really helped us out. So we just drilled this hole where the hose will come up. So now we will start working on the door. We're gonna use these corner braces to help hold in the bottom, and then we also have 2 of these tight seal sash locks that we're going to put at the top, so hopefully it holds the door firmly against the kind of gasket that we've formed here. Okay, so we have the 2 ends in, and then we just slide our door there, push down, and it's held at the bottom, and now we just have to make sure it's sucked in at the top, which is why we got 2 of these.
And in order to get these good without splitting this 1/2 inch up, make sure you pre-drill.
So we have our 2 hinges here, and you can kind of see it on camera, but there's a little bit of a gap right here between the gasket and the plywood of the door. So we are going to take these off, so obviously they unlock, and these little notches down here help hold it in, so we're just going to pull it out, and then we're going to attach some more weather gasket right at the top here, and that will help when it's being sucked together to fully close and get rid of that gap.
Okay, the cement has hardened on our PVC pipe, so this is ready to go. That paint should also be dry. Next up, we're going to be taking this Loctite clear waterproof silicone and absolutely weatherproofing all possible cracks. So we're going to start by applying it to the exterior. I'm going to shove it up the tube. We'll get it in place. While I'm down there, I'll probably hit it from the bottom, and then Alex will take the tube and finish it up top.
So we have it siliconed at the top and bottom, and now we just need to wait for it to dry. So now we are working on our butcher block, and our first step is to make sure that we have the correct hang that we want. So first, this is pretty close, but we want to take off one of these blocks, which is 1.5 inches.
1.5 inches.
So just to make it easy for ourselves, we're just taking off a block. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna start getting to fitting it to the wall. So we have this little notch cut out right here to fit the wall, and now we're gonna cut this second piece off at this line right here to fit the exact length of our cabinet, and then this will be saved and used as kind of a fold up hinge. It'll be like this with the cabinet, and then it'll fold up so we can have extra counter space.
Alright, here we go. Butcher block cut out and into position.
Yeah, just dry fit right now, but we have this little notch here so it fits perfectly with the wall and continues to extend with the rest of our cabinetry that's underneath it. And we have a little bit of a lip right here. It's about the same as the other side, so that works out perfect. So let's cut it some more. So we have traced where our frame of the cabinet is. That's these lines right here. And we also created these templates. This is the sink template, and this is the stove template. So we have just aligned them to where we want them to be, and now we will just use this pencil to trace around our templates, and then we'll cut.
Big moment. We're about to put 4 holes in our corners, making sure to stay inside of the lines. From there, we're gonna get our jigsaw blade and connect the dots. Let's do this.
Oh God, I'm scared. So we have all 4 pilot holes done. Now it's time for the jigsaw. So we have this first hole cut out that's going to be for our Lloyd, apparently, for our stove. And this is the cutout for it. So we're gonna fix it up on all the sides, and then we'll just use it as like a cutting board. So we have all of this ready to go. We're about to install our 2-burner propane stovetop. So first, I'm gonna bring this in here without getting any of that on it, hopefully. Lower it down.
All the connections are where they need to be. I'm gonna loosen up the flow of propane here.
So after a minor explosion, we have taken out the stove due to it being unsafe. We're returning it to Amazon, and we're gonna find a different stove that will not burn chip down.
So what was happening is the propane was actually leaking through the knobs. We tested air, and the air was literally coming through the knobs.
Which it's not supposed to do. So if the deal is too good to be true, it's too good to be true, guys.
Yeah, short, little investment up front, but long-term terrible investment.
So, long story short, we actually got our new propane stove in time for this video. So we have it installed right here. It's the Magic Chef 2-burner propane stove. So we have it all installed. All of the hose is hooked up, and now we're about to hook it up to the propane. But thankfully, we have a new stove and it doesn't have any leaks. So, very happy about that.